Hey guys, so yesterday I just received this new X88 Android 9 TV box in the mail. Okay, I bought it from Amazon, shipped from China. Took like a month to arrive, but it's really good price. Okay, less than $30 US. You get this latest Android 9 TV box. I'm buying this to replace my old TV box. Why am I upgrading it? Because the old TV box is pretty much the same thing. It's Android 6 or 7. I can't remember. But major problem with that, and the reason I'm buying this one, and hopefully this will resolve that issue, is that it's really slow. It's not because of the CPU, I don't think. The reason is that TV box had 1 gigabyte of memory, 8 gigabyte of onboard storage. So 8 gigabyte of storage, I think that's okay, depending on what you really install on that device, because it's a TV box, right? You don't use it as a cell phone, so you don't install a lot of things unless you're playing games. So pretty much you just install Kodi and a few other video streaming apps. So 8 gigabytes shouldn't be a big problem. The problem is with 1 gigabyte memory. So it can handle multitasking, so it's really slow when it starts. Okay, so once it started, the one app you're using on the foreground is loaded fully, then it's fine, it works. But while you're loading that, because a lot of background apps running, the 1 gigabyte just cannot handle it. Okay, so it's really slow to start. So hopefully this one, okay, let me show you this one, X88 Smart Android TV box, says 4K Ultra HD on the side. Okay, so here on the back is the specs. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to read it to you. So the model is X88 Smart. CPU is RK, I think it's Rock chip, 3328 quad core, 64-bit Cortex A53 CPU. Okay, again, the CPU may not be that important if you're just streaming videos, but still, this is what's inside this unit. So the RAM, I bought is actually a 4 gigabyte and onboard storage ROM 32 gigabyte. So you can see actually here on the label, Android 9 4 plus 32. Okay, so this is a 4 gigabyte memory and 32 gigabyte storage. So hopefully that will make the operation really smooth, because the large memory. Wi-Fi is 802.11 B, G, and N. So there's no AC on this one. It's only 2.4 gigahertz, no 5 gigahertz. But I don't believe that's going to be a big issue, at least for me, because although I do have AC and 5G, 5 gigahertz on my router, 2.4 gigabyte and with wireless N should be more than enough to stream videos. Okay, so that's not a big issue. So operating system is Android 9, which should be more powerful and more efficient than the previous Android TV boxes. Okay, so let's open it up. So these are becoming smaller and smaller. See, the size is just the size of my palm, and I have small hands, so it's really small. Okay, so on the back, actually on the bottom is just the label, but on the side there's pretty much nothing here. Okay, this is the one thing that I may not be liking, so we'll see. So I don't know if you can see the ports here. So there's just 2 ports. One is the HDMI and the other is a micro USB port. This is where what I don't like is, first of all, there's no other ports available, like a USB port, Ethernet cable port. So pretty much this is wireless only, right? And because there's no USB, there's no card reader. So when you have a memory card you want to read, it's going to be hard. It's going to be an issue. And there's no USB, so USB like USB drive or USB hard drive, portable drives, any kind of thing, it's going to be an issue. Okay, So normally what you get around this issue is the USB charging port can double as a USB external USB port, so that you can connect something like this. You can buy it on eBay, it's really cheap. A USB OTG charge hub. Okay, so what it does is it has a one micro USB port that goes into the device, and then it turns into a hub for multiple USB ports, including one that's charging the device at the same time. Okay, but the problem is this USB port is only one here, so it doubles as a charging port as well as the OTG ports. So it's you cannot charge and using OTG at the same time without this hub. But this kind of hub you have to buy a really good quality, because the cheap ones from China, because of the charging, the current is really strong, right? So it may damage it, right? So when you're charging, when you're actually powering this unit at the same time trying to use OTG, it may be an issue. It may burn out. Okay, so buy a really expensive and good quality one if you do want to use this. So you may ask, why do I need that many USB ports if I just charging powering the unit? I don't need anything else. It might work, but in my experience, you may need at least one USB port for external device, like a mouse, air mouse, or something like that. Because even if you don't need to use USB drives and memory cards, the mouse function is really useful. For example, if you say you're running an app like that's not well designed for a TV box, for example, Popcorn Time, it's good with cell phones, because you can then just basically scroll with your fingers, right? But with a TV box, it's not designed like that. So you can't just go down the screen. If your movie you want to watch is not listed on the first screen, you have to go scroll down. Then the TV remote, the TV box remote, let me show you. The remote does not have such a function. Okay, it has. Let me take it out so you can see it clearly. Let's look at the remote. The remote is a simple one. Power button. This is menu, home, and a scroll wheel with up, down, left and right, and OK in the middle. Okay, and then back. And then this is volume buttons. And there's a mouse. So you can press this mouse, it creates a pointer, the cursor on the screen, so you can move the mouse point with these four directions and OK to click it, right? But the problem is, unlike the conventional mouse, the USB mouse, it doesn't have the scroll wheel in the middle. So how do you go down to the next page, right? And that's normally is done with a touch screen, kind of a external, like a USB mouse, like with a flywheel, or with this touch screen, you can just use two fingers to slide down, so the screen will go down. Okay, so this one doesn't have that. So you may come to a point where you definitely need to scroll down, and this is not going to do it for you. But if you're only using Kodi or any app that's well designed for TV box, then you don't have to worry. This pretty much does everything. This down button will move the screen down. Okay, but for an app that's designed for cell phones only, for touch screen only, you may have a problem. So keep that in mind if you're buying something, and do more research. Unlike me, I didn't think much, and I bought this. Now it arrives with just one USB port, doubles as charging port, so that could be an issue. Okay, so for now we're going to try to use this to make do. Okay, so we now covered the main unit, the remote, and what else is included is the charging brick, which is a 110 volt to 240 volt universal charging unit. So it works anywhere in the world with the output of 5 volts and 2.5 amps current. So this is basically a USB thing. So you just put the USB cable included, plug it, and the other end micro USB goes to the unit to power it. And of course it includes the HDMI HD cable. Okay, you may not want to use it. I assume it's a really bad quality, so if you have already a good quality one connected to your TV, use that one. Okay. So manual is really simple. Okay, a few pages, nothing important. Basically, quite intuitive. Tells you how to connect the power. The power LED will turn into blue when it's on. When it's off, it turns into red. Or you can completely unplug it. And the language selection on the first launch, and all the apps. It's a screen like this. And one important thing on this page is that it says here, I'm going to read that to you, the small print. Please find the calculator program and input pi, the pi symbol, 318. So the pi 318, then it will show the installation of Kodi and other third-party applications and uninstall Kodi application. So basically what this tells you is if you have to do this, because I think it's because of copyright issues, they don't include Kodi on the launch. So, but if you bind this one for Kodi and other streaming apps, then you just launch the calculator and type in pi 318. I don't know if the box you're buying will have the same thing, but some of them will have this kind of issue because they don't want to violate copyright. Okay, so other things are pretty intuitive. You connect Wi-Fi through here, and there's a file browser, which is not very useful, but it's basic function. You might want to install a good file manager, and there's plenty of free ones you can download from the App Store. Okay, so that's pretty much for the unboxing. Now we're gonna connect the device to our TV and see how it functions. Alright, so we have connected the HDMI cable and the power cable. So let's turn on power. Okay, so this is the channel for the HDMI. Power cable have to turn on. It is now loading. Strange, it looks like a actually Google Nexus streaming box. So I think they may have copied that design. Okay. So the remote uses 2 AAA batteries, and there is no power indicator on the top. Okay, so when you click, there's no like a red LED light, so you don't even know if you're clicking it. So that's the one thing that I don't like for this remote design. But anyway, so the first page is language. Okay, so obviously in this case I'm going to choose English, which is already chosen. So we're just going to go to next. So it shows you the scroll wheel. So in this case, we're going to change the TV's picture mode to native. This will show exactly the same as how the TV box is outputting the image resolution. Okay. So screen zoom, I don't think we need to do any screen zoom because I think the screen is perfectly centered once we change that to native. Now we'll go to next. Wi-Fi, okay, so I'm going to select a Wi-Fi, input the password. Okay, it's strange, it's timed out a couple times, but now it's just connected. Okay, let's go to next. Okay, so this page is the launcher. It shows you all the proponents of the launcher. There's the YouTube and my app, locations. Then there's settings on the top, clear memory, which is useful if your memory is full and it's slow. You can use that. Media center and all the indicator. Reset the list. Okay, so this is very similar to the previous box I had. Okay, so shows you the tutorial for the remote. As I mentioned before, power, menu button, home, the 5 key, ups, downs, left, right, identify key, focus, click on the icon in the execution. I don't know what that means. This is weird. Anyway, so there's the return, which is the back button, volume key up and down, cursor, switch to the mouse mode. Okay, so let's confirm. Okay, now it's fully loaded. This is the screen you see every time you launch your X88 box, Ultra 4K Smart Box. Okay, let's see. So pretty much there's, like I said, this is the memory clean button, settings, media center, which we'll change later. Probably once we install the Kodi, because we mainly use this for Kodi. As you can see, there's Netflix, YouTube, Play Store already pre-installed. Okay, so it's pretty good. Play Store is also here and YouTube's here, but these buttons you can change. This big shortcut buttons you can change later. My apps will launch all your apps that's there. There's calculator. So let's actually do the calculator thing. Okay, so that let's see what the Kodi on this box is like. So basically we'll have to take, or actually I think I remember, just launch calculator and type in pi 318, right? So calculator is launched now, and how do I enter? Okay, so just use the scroll wheel, enter pi and 3, 1, 8. Okay, app install. So it's installing all the apps now, and you can see the app installation status. It's installing. App add-ons, installation status, installing. Let's see what it does. I think it will install not only the Kodi app itself, but also the add-ons for you, but we'll see. And it's not a big deal. We can always do the add-ons later. Okay, important thing is we now have Kodi function that we can put in all the streaming apps. Okay, we'll just pause for now and wait until it's done. It's actually done pretty quickly. Okay, so that's good indication of this box's capabilities, good memory and fast speed as a CPU function. So there's the, let's see, all the functions. The remote is actually quite hard to use, and the scroll wheel is hard to press. You have to press hard on this one. Okay, anyway, there's this calculator, there's a Chrome browser, which is good. Clean up function, so that clean the memory and clean all the apps on the device. DLNA, so you can, I guess, cast something on your network. File browser, like I said, this is a very simple one, but we can install a more sophisticated file manager later. Film on live TV, that's good. You can watch some TV programs. We can install a lot of apps to replace this anyway. There's photo gallery, there's settings, Play Store, Netflix, music, media center, KK player, Google search, I guess, setup wizard, Wi-Fi display. Oh, this is just doesn't, the remote just doesn't work very well. YouTube, okay, so it doesn't work. So I guess you cannot go to the bottom. There's 4 icons, round icons on the bottom. I don't know what they mean. but looks like if I go try to move down, I cannot go. Let's try the mouse function. Click the mouse button, and now you see a cursor, a mouse point in the middle of the screen, so you can use your upside down, left and right to move the mouse button. Okay, so you can actually use the center OK button to click the mouse, goes to my apps, and move down here. Let's see what is here. If I click that, it doesn't do anything. I think this pretty much is useless functions. On this box, only the middle Android one works. Okay, now we can switch off the mouse button. Click again, restore to default button mode. Okay. Okay, so we're going to try a few things. So let's first see settings. Okay, again, this is very similar to Google Nexus streaming player. This is exactly the same kind of thing. I think it's copied that TV operating system. So we have connected to the Wi-Fi. This is the first one. Account and sign in. So you want to sign in with your Google credentials, so you can access your Google Play Store. And apps, and you can see all the apps that's installed here. There's a permission setting as well. Okay, if you click see all apps, it should show you. Okay, now we have signed in the Google Play Store. Now check all the other device preferences. There's a time setting. You might want to set it depending on. I think it's pretty good now. It's set by the network. And device preferences again. Oh, these buttons are really hard to press. Okay, language, already set that. Keyboard, we want to sound inputs. Let's see what input it is. HDMI control, auto power off, TV auto power on. No, maybe not one of these, depending on what you want to do. Okay. Storage, let's check the storage. 32 gigs, that's pretty good. Screensaver. Security and restrictions. So you want to turn on the unknown sources if you want to install a lot of other apps such as Popcorn Time and all that. So this is where you set the give your app permission to install unknown sources. Okay, so we'll do it later. Accessibility, reset, advanced settings, power key definition. Don't want to go in now. There's more settings as well. There's a network, display sound, storage, security, memory, language, all these updates. And we can verify memory is indeed 4 gigabytes. Okay, we're only using average 1.1, so which is good. Which is why our old box 1 gigabyte is not enough. So this should help. So it's about device, X88 Smart. This gesture as well. The backup, reset options, system update. Let's see. So currently it's Android 9. Okay, so you can check the update. Probably there's nothing. Yeah, just current version is the latest. so there's no update. For these boxes, normally there's no update, because once they made it, they don't worry about making a new update for it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let's try one of the functions to see how well it works. Let's go to YouTube. See how fast it loads. Okay. Error occurred. Okay, and I want to reinstall YouTube in that case. So let's go back to home, press the home button. YouTube from here, still the same thing, okay? Where's our Kodi? Let's go to my apps. It does say Kodi is installed already, but where is it? Okay, let's try film on. Pretty fast, I would say. This remote thing is really the bad point of this device. I wonder if it's because there's no power indicator. Maybe it's the battery I put in there is not good enough. I'm gonna have to do something about it. Okay, so let's try again. I think it may be the battery, or actually the metal spring on the inside of the remote is actually pretty bad. It's you have to bend it to make it center on the battery, so the contact is better. It might be the reason as well. So, but I think it's pretty good now. So so it looks like it's working. So you can see BBC News there playing, right? And let's press back button for the first time. No. I think this app is badly designed for the remote. We press OK. Yeah. I think it's you have to really point your remote at the device for it to work out perfectly. When I go back, it keeps asking me if you want to exit the screen. I don't know how I can go back to the main screen without exiting. This is weird. How do I go back to the main screen? If I press the back button, ask me to if you want to close it. Maybe I just use the mouse pointing at the main screen and click yes. See, this is not designed very well for the particular app. Anyway, you can see it's actually working, right? So you can see all the TV channels and all that, mostly British channels. So yeah, at least you have some TV to watch for now. Okay. So I think we covered all the things you want to know about this box. So there's good and bad, but mostly it is pretty fast. I think I'm going to enjoy using it, although some things are not perfect. The remote being one of them, and also the extra ports. There's no USB, there's no Ethernet, and most importantly, there's no the USB and power port are the same. So there's no way to add additional pointing devices or external storage devices without a OTG cable that you purchase separately. Alternatively, if there was a Bluetooth, you could add Bluetooth pointing devices like keyboard and mouse, but as we checked in the settings, there is no Bluetooth for this one. Okay, so these are the things you might want to look. If you haven't bought a new box, learn from my lesson. Look for a device with more external ports as well as a Bluetooth function. Okay, or either or. So yeah, that's it for the unboxing and review of this box. We're gonna do another video for how to install all the Kodi add-ons and other apps to watch all the free movies and TV. Okay, but it's going to be a separate one because some people may not want to know about that. Okay. Okay, so before we finish this video, you see the YouTube we tried before, it wasn't working, right? So I think that's because the YouTube version installed here is way too old. Okay, same as the Kodi. We tried on the calculator, put in the button that says put in the key that says Pi 318, install the Kodi, but you cannot find that anywhere, and also it doesn't work. So same as YouTube. So what I did was I went into Play Store here and search for YouTube and installed it. Same as Kodi, you're going to install from Play Store the latest version. For this one, it doesn't work. So what we do is we go to settings, and in the installed apps, we go to apps and see all apps, see all the apps. Then you can find this is one, the YouTube, that's the one we just installed, right? So it says the red button. But if you find the YouTube they got in there, and by the way, you also want to update all the apps such as Google and Chrome. All those things are way outdated. So here you can find their version of the YouTube, okay, which just doesn't work. You just basically uninstall it. Okay. Now it's uninstalled, and basically anything you want to use and you see it's an older version, you just uninstall it. Okay, and you can install it anyway from the Google Play Store, so that's not an issue. Okay, so let's go back to home and see. So I don't know how to change the setup here, the big buttons, because this YouTube obviously is no longer there, right? Well, it's still kind of working. I don't know why, since we already uninstalled it, and it's just weird. I don't know how to change this one. Anyway, if you go to YouTube, it's installed. I think the bottom shortcut buttons, they're the one we most frequently use. So if we would just enter here, so that's actually the same one. If we go to My Apps, oh, I think the one we just uninstalled is actually the one that's not working. So let's try again. Go to Apps and see all apps. Actually, no, we don't need to see all apps. We just need to see this app and have that uninstalled. Okay, go back to home. Oh, this remote is really killing me. Okay, so there's no more YouTube anywhere. This shouldn't launch anything if I do it correctly. Yeah, it doesn't launch anything. It's a dead button. Okay, so now we go back to Play Store and reinstall YouTube and Kodi. Now with YouTube, the new YouTube installed from App Store, it is working. But as I said before, you can see there is no way to go to the next screen because this app is not designed for this box. Okay, as you can see, actually it's now working. Basically, you just use your clicker. I mean, use your scroll. Use your scroll wheel. So if you go, so it's on the right now. It's on the bottom. You can see the home is highlighted, trending. But if you click up, it goes to highlight one of the videos. It's actually now you can play one of them. Okay, let's see if we click this one. It is now playing. See, pretty fast. Okay, it's working. But in order to go full screen, you still have to use the mouse. See, use the mouse to go full screen here. See, click this full screen button. Now it goes full screen. I don't think there's any way around that unless you use an external keyboard. If you switch back to the button mode, you can exit, but it's still playing. To turn it off, you still have to use something. Okay, anyway, so I guess this is how you do it. Still don't know how to switch this big button, which is now useless. I don't think there's a function for that. At this point, don't believe there's a function for that. Yep, there's no way. Okay, so one last thing I want to mention before we go into the next video for installing all the apps for TV and video. So still couldn't figure out how to replace the dead button. Okay, so I don't think the function is there. And if you go to My Apps, we installed Kodi from the Play Store. Okay, we go to the Play Store, manually search for Kodi to install the latest version of Kodi. And it's nowhere to be seen here, right? So this is actually Kodi, KK Player. Okay, they rename it again to probably to avoid some kind of a copywriting issue. So KK Player is Kodi. If you press that, it's Kodi. Okay, so if you install the from the Play Store, or if you didn't install, just click KK and it should come up. Okay, so that's basically how you install Kodi on this one. Now I have installed the YouTube and installed some other input keyboard. Everything works, and so yeah, overall this is a good box with some shortcomings. So again, if you're buying another box, try to avoid these things I just mentioned. Okay, thank you, and you can watch my next video for how to configure this to get the best free movies and TVs.